All right. Welcome to the Over and Under podcast. We are going over the weekly college football playoffs. As you know, this is a college football podcast. That is all we talk about for now. Might have some more things coming down the line. As you always know, I got my co-host James over here, and then I got the OG showing up, putting his wisdom. He's nervous about his team, Indiana, but I got my pops here, Charles Senior. How is everybody doing today?
You
Everybody,
know,
how y'all doing today?
living, dying, all
Come on,
all the above.
come on now. Don't do my team bad, Indiana. Let's see if they stay at number 2.
All right, everyone ready? We're gonna go ahead and get this started. Listen, James, I don't know if we are prepared for a Texas and maybe Texas Tech matchup down the line. An Alabama versus Georgia, an Alabama versus USF. You know, USF is kind of like their kryptonite when they play them. The rankings, interesting, very interesting. So we'll go ahead and start with number one and go through the top 25. Number one, obviously Ohio State coming in. Don't think they will lose that rep for the whole year unless they lose to Michigan, which we do think they will. Well, I do. So number two, Indiana. Indiana stays at
There
number
we go.
2. So no nervousness down there. Now let's stop for a second. Indiana at number 2. They did have a shaky game against Penn State. Some people didn't have faith in them. I won't say on this podcast, but some people. How do we feel about Indiana being at number 2 and keeping that?
I think they should be
I'm
dropped
at,
as number 3.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you struggle with Penn State like that, and A&M handled Missouri for the most part. I think Indiana had to drop the 3 right there. But hey, keep it there. You kept it there, so I guess. And it's not even like a big difference anyway, but I just feel like they should have got dropped down a ranking, but it is what it is. I'm not mad at it either.
Yeah, let's hope that some kind of way A&M and Indiana get a chance to meet on the field. And then we could settle all of this talk. They wasn't going to jump Indiana. Texas A&M was going to stay number 3. And then Texas A&M still got to pay Texas before it's over with. If Texas University get past Georgia this weekend and they knock A&M off, we'll see when that podcast come up.
Listen, I think Indiana played a great game, came back, had its, Mendoza has his Heisman moment. Texas A&M beat I would say a weak Missouri team. They did have a backup quarterback, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like they were at full strength. However, I know an Oregon team that struggled with Penn State that still gets credit for that win, even though them being bad. So I think Indiana needs credit for beating a maybe slightly upgraded Penn State team, slightly, not much, but slightly upgraded, and beating them on the road and winning that game. So Indiana at 2 and A&M at 3, I can agree with on my terms.
All right.
Yes, I agree also. Let's keep the flow going just like that the whole year.
Alabama coming in at number 4, Georgia coming in at 5. All right, so we got something coming in crazy. We got Texas Tech at 6, Ole Miss at 7, Oregon at 8. Now, James, the committee is basically saying a Big 12 team is better than an SEC undefeated, one loss team, and a Oregon one-loss team, Big Ten, a Big 12 team that I add that lost to Iowa State. Oh, sorry, lost to Arizona State.
I mean, I, Texas Tech at 6 is just crazy to me. I'm not even mad about like Oregon being at 8. I think Ole Miss has had a tougher time with their schedule compared to Tech. So I think you flip those 6. Ole Miss stays there and 7 Texas Tech. But I'm at the same. I know we're going down the way, but Notre Dame shouldn't even be in the top 10. To be honest,
Number 9.
that's all I'm saying. So if Notre Dame is not in there, then we can talk about something. But somehow, some way, somehow, with their big losses, they're still top 10 team. But it is what it is. But the Tech and Ole Miss thing and Oregon, I mean, you just flip a coin and you just throw it wherever. But I don't think Tech is better than either one of those teams. But they did have a rank win this week, so
yeah, they beat BYU, and I was high on BYU. I'm not gonna lie, I thought they was gonna beat Texas Tech, but I watched the game a little bit, and Texas Tech defense showed me a little something. I think Texas Tech is a legitimate team. Their defense is nice.
Question: since we are talking about defenses, who has the best defense in Texas? Texas Tech, or Texas A&M?
A&M.
Really?
Follow
wow, you talked the big talk about Texas defense earlier today, and you're going with A&M?
I like Texas defense, but they let Vanderbilt put them points up on them in the fourth quarter, so I had to take a few points from them for that. They could get their chance to prove they're good. I told you this weekend I'm taking Texas when they play Georgia in Athens.
Yeesh. James, who do you think got the best
I'm
defense?
depending on that defense of Texas to step up.
I'm gonna have to just go with Texas, bro. I'm not picking A&M any day of the week, so I'm sorry.
So Texas Tech defense don't get no love at all?
Hey, they're good defense. I give them that, but I'm not giving them that much credit. They look good, they look solid, but hey, I'm gonna have to roll with Texas. It might be biased, I don't care, but it is what it is. A&M's defense is solid too, but
yes,
I don't know. I think Texas defense can show it when need be. With A&M's defense, they can't stop the run to save their life. So when we see a good running team, we're gonna see how good this A&M defense really is when we get to that point. So,
all right. So this next run, we got Notre Dame, Texas, Oklahoma at 11, BYU at 12, Utah at 13, Vanderbilt at 14. Once again, I asked you, what does
the old school politics?
Why is Utah anywhere in this?
why? I don't know.
Yeah. BYU just got beat the brakes off them. And they're in front of Vanderbilt, Miami, and Georgia Tech.
Yeah, BYU should have dropped a little bit more, bro, with that showing they showed up with in Lubbock, because everyone expected this to be a decent game at least.
School politics.
And they just didn't show up at all. So to put them at number 12, I don't agree with it. They should be at least 17, 18, maybe 16. But just to drop to 12 is crazy to me.
Yeah, they dropped them too hard. That was just their first loss. But they're going back to the old school politics. They're going to keep aligning these conferences to counteract the portal transfers and the NIL. They're going to eventually end up with one big super conference every year. They're going to always make the playoffs. They're going to have those teams in there that they want, just like they had before.
I don't know if this got to do more of politics. I think this got to just
Yeah.
do more of the Big 12. Like, I think they're hyping up the Big 12 for no reason.
Yeah.
But is that the best conference though? The Big 12
No,
right now. The SEC has more
No.
teams than them.
no. I think the best conference right now, I mean, I hate to say it, but it could probably be the Big 10 where these rankings are going. And I hate to say that. But just how they're ranking these teams, I feel like they're propping up BYU and Utah because of Tech. I think that's the only reason that BYU and Utah are on the top, let's say even top 15, top 20. So they can be like, okay, yeah, well, in our rankings, Texas Tech has the wins against number 12 and 13, right? And they had a good showing.
Yeah.
So let's get to this next run. We got Miami at 15, Georgia Tech 16, USC 17, Michigan 18, Virginia is at 19, Louisville at 20. I don't know who USC has beat other than what, Minnesota. I mean, who has USC beat to be in the top 17?
No one.
I'm pulling it up right now. So
No.
they beat Michigan, Illinois. That's really it.
So they're
And,
above Michigan in the rankings.
Wait, they lost to Notre Dame. Never mind. And then Northwestern. That's it.
Okay. So let's go ahead and finish out these rankings, and then we'll get to the matchups, and you tell me what you think. Louisville at 20, Iowa 21, Pittsburgh 22. They got a chance to really come back and do some things this weekend because they played Notre Dame. They can knock off Notre Dame and put us out of our misery. Notre Dame would not be in these playoffs if they're a three-loss team with no conference. Tennessee at 23, South Florida at 24, Cincinnati at 25. Cincinnati still has a road to still be Big 12 champion and get into this thing. It's tough. It's a tough road, but they still have a road.
Yes, they do.
All right, so here's the matchups. This is what ESPN has. They have South Florida getting the G5 spot, and they will play Georgia in Athens, obviously. They have Notre Dame at number 9 going to Eugene to play Oregon. They have Miami going to Texas Tech at number 11. They think they'll win the ACC. And then they have Texas going to Hotty Toddy Ole Miss. And yeah. So Texas at 10, Ole Miss at 7. South Florida, Georgia. Obviously, I think Georgia can win that. However, I don't know if they can stop Byron Brown. I haven't seen Georgia against a running quarterback.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I don't know if Georgia's even going to run into that going into the last 3-4 games. So it could be a problem for them. And they like to show up late to the games. And if they get, caught up in the first half, will they be able to make another comeback like they have been if they get down to a running quarterback that can move around in the pocket and scramble around and stuff? So it'd be interesting if they do play them and South Florida kind of maybe upsets them. Maybe. Be interesting.
That's gonna be like the games they play at the beginning of the season, like the non-conference games. It's gonna be just like that, like a scrimmage, just a prelude for them, just get a little practice for the next game. That's how it's gonna be.
So you saying South Florida has no chance at all?
Georgia and Athens.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Never know.
Hey, I appreciate them having a good season and making it. And like we say, the game is played on the field. But no, realistically, I don't think they have a chance against Georgia and Athens.
Okay, Notre Dame has to go to Eugene. That is a flight. Okay. hell of a flight. It's going to be cold weather, obviously. So I'm pretty sure Notre Dame is used to playing in cold weather. Cold weather since they're in South Bend. Eugene in a playoff game is probably pretty hectic. I got Oregon winning this game on one condition: if everyone's healthy. If everyone is not healthy, if I don't have Sadiq, if I don't have DeConnium Moore, if I don't have Benson, if I don't have the trio of the running backs, if I don't have a healthy Dante Moore in a healthy line,
man, you need all that.
I need all of that. Yes. Yes, I need all of that to be Notre Dame. I need everyone to be healthy.
The running game? You think the running game think just a smash mouth from the whole game like that bad?
You got Jeremiah Love. You got a double duo. Yep. Jeremiah Love and his backup. Carr is not bad. And I mean, Carr, what quarterback has Oregon probably faced that's similar to Carr? Mendoza? And Mendoza had a pretty good game.
It makes it seem like if y'all have one injury, y'all possibly could lose the game already.
If they don't have Sadiq, if they have two, I'm saying they're losing the game in Eugene. Yeah,
Sadiq, that's the tight end, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, they need that guy. They need that tight end. I don't know.
I think giving Notre Dame way too much credit.
Healthy to be the team, right? Don't you think, James? That's a lot of people to have healthy just to be the team. You need that guy, the quarterback, the tight end. I don't know.
So
I think Notre Dame might get them boys.
So you're basically saying they need a football team, basically, is what you just said. All of that. They just need a backup team. I'm not. Man, I think you're giving Notre Dame way too much credit. Too much, to be honest. We've been talking about Notre Dame being, how are they making it in the top 10? And now all of a sudden, hey, they go to Eugene. It's in Eugene. Come on, man. Come on.
If they make it to the top 10, that means they beat a good Pittsburgh team and they beat somebody else down the line, right? They're going to be healthy. They don't have a conference game. You may not have a conference game also, but they're going to have a week before that to be healthy.
Yes, it's money time. It's adjustments time.
Marcus Freeman and Dan Lanning are the same type of psycho. One's just more verbal, I guess you could say, and Marcus Freeman's kind of more, he's got a zen to him, like he's calm with it. Dan Lanning is like a chihuahua, not even a chihuahua, like a cane corso that's got everybody in line. Okay. We've already seen you not having a healthy team that you struggle with Iowa.
And crazy conditions, bro.
What do you think is gonna happen in December and January?
There's a difference between rain and snow. So I'm not worried
That's
about
even
that.
Worse.
That's even worse. I think you playing in the snow is better than playing in the rain.
What?
Anyway. What? Are you saying
playing in the snow was better than playing in the rain?
Yes.
I played in both.
Slide a little better.
I have
both of them suck.
Both I can tell you right now, I would rather play in the goddamn. I would rather play in the rain than play in the snow.
I play in the rain instead of snow because you hit that ass, but you hit that turf. Woo! Nah, I'm playing the rain.
Oh, we play on grass, so ain't too worried about no.
My bad. We turf over. We got turf over here. We little too much. Oh, my bad. Okay, Miami, Texas Tech. Miami has to travel all the way to West Texas. We already know what West Texas weather is like in, December, January. It's unpredictable. Miami could come in and it could be 60 degrees, and the next thing they know, it's ice and snow at Texas Tech. We just highlighted that we didn't think Texas Tech deserved that much credit. However, that their defense was really, really good. Miami has struggled with Louisville's defensive line. They struggle finding the rhythm in the running game, and Carson Beck is a turnover machine sometimes.
Yes.
Texas Tech is pretty good in takeaways. Not like the best, but they're pretty good in takeaways. However, can the Texas Tech defensive line block Ruben Bain? That's the big question. Can Morton take hit after hit after hit from that Miami defense and they pull off a win? Or yeah, can they pull off a win at home? It would be huge. I'm gonna tell you right now why it would be huge if Texas Tech wins this game, because they would play A&M the next game. So it would be Texas Tech against Texas A&M. So that would be huge. However, what are your thoughts if Miami had to go to Lubbock?
The last time Miami came to Texas, I was riding with them boys when they went up against SMU. So this time I'm not gonna make that mistake. They're gonna come back down to Texas. We're gonna give them that hospitality like we give everybody when it's a money time. And that Texas Tech defense is looking good. So yeah, go ahead and bring Miami down here. Come on down to West Texas to Lubbock. We're gonna give some hospitality this time, and go ahead and say we predict about 2 interceptions from Beck anyway against that defense.
Jeez, 2?
Yeah, he good for 2.
A Miami team in Lubbock is never would have thought of that ever. So I don't even know what to even look for. Like you said, takeaways. Texas defense, mainly their linebacker. I forget his name, Jacob something. 7 forced fumbles by himself. So, and Miami, they don't like to take care of the ball very much. So it could get ugly for Miami, but at the same time, I think Miami has more talent around them compared to Tech as of right now. But it all just depends on Carson Beck as well. What Carson Beck shows up to Lubbock. And if it's Carson Beck that we saw at the beginning of the season, I don't see Tech having a chance. But if it's this guy that we've been seeing the past few weeks, I don't know. It might get a little shaky for Miami.
Yeah, be a runaway.
All right, last matchup: Texas versus Ole Miss. Texas would have to go to Mississippi. Ole Miss is probably coming off a win on the Egg Bowl. Mississippi State going into resting because they don't have to play in the SEC championship. Texas also, if they do win both A&M and Georgia games, they might be playing in the SEC championship. But if they go 1-1, they would probably still make it in. Archer Manning going against Ole Miss's defense, and Texas defense going against a D2 quarterback who has made his stamp in the SEC, taking over for Austin Simmons, and that's Trinidad Chambers. I think Anthony Hill can definitely tackle Trinidad Chambers and not let him run. However, I don't know if Texas secondary without Taft can hang with them boys on the outside, personally. So, what do y'all think?
Go ahead, James.
I don't know. I don't think Ole Miss has even. Well, it's a playoff atmosphere at this point, and like you keep saying, a D2 quarterback, it's a lot different than a D2 playoffs compared to the Division I playoffs. So it really just depends on how he performs. And Taft, I think even if they didn't have him, I think they'd be okay. I think they'll still survive. Texas defense is solid. One player shouldn't make that much of a difference, but having him as well, that'd be great. It'd do wonders. But I don't know. Ole Miss is good. Don't get me wrong, but going against the Texas defense, I don't know how well they do. Now, on the other hand, with Texas offense, what offense is showing up? And they've been playing well this past few weeks. But when we get into these situations and the playoff things, and Arch's first start in these playoffs, well, not first start. Well, he's played last year. See something like we saw at Ohio State, where we played a really good team and kind of just not do wonders that make the needle move to where you put your team in a good situation to win. We play like Ole Miss or something like that. I think that's more my worry than the Texas defense, to be honest.
The Texas defense, if they step up to the occasion, this will be a great game. But you got to ask yourself the question, which quarterback is more agile, the Vanderbilt quarterback or the Ole Miss quarterback?
Oh,
yeah. And you see what the Vanderbilt quarterback did to Texas in the fourth quarter with 21 points on them. And they're going to be on the road. So
I think that Vanderbilt game is kind of like, I don't want to say like it was some gambling things going on, because there was some like, some point spreads, and it came, exactly to the point spread. But I would call it just like garbage time, to be honest with you. The game was Texas comfortably won that game to me.
Well, we're going to get a prelude because they're going to play Texas A&M with their mobile quarterback. So if they handle Texas A&M mobile quarterback, then I believe they have a great chance of handling the Ole Miss mobile quarterback. But they're going to be on the road, and the weather conditions is going to come into play. But Texas defense is good. That'd be a mastermind game. Lane Kiffin, man, and Sark. Yeah, that'd be one of those games where you got two great coaches going against each other. They know each other very well. Probably a low-scoring game. No, Miss got a great defense too, but their defense is not as good as Texas. Texas defense is very fast and athletic. So they come down if Texas defense can stop the Ole Miss mobile quarterback.
All right. Listen, this is just the second week of these rankings. Obviously, we're going to get more and more information as time goes on, especially after this weekend. After this weekend is going to be crazy. So I just hope Miami and Texas Tech play. In Notre Dame, Oregon, I really hope those matchups happen, because I need the content and I need the arguments to happen, especially if Notre Dame upsets Oregon and Eugene. I gotta see James come on here and defend his team from that.
You can go ahead. You can drive down when Miami come play Texas Tech. I'll meet you in Lubbock.
If I'm off, I might have to do that. I don't know how much I don't know how much the ticket's gonna be, but I can tell you right now that Lubbock scene would be absolutely insane. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be lovely. I don't know about flying though. The people from TSA, they come back yet?
Anyways, so we're gonna go ahead and get on. James, Pops, appreciate y'all for coming on the Over and Under podcast. We'll see y'all Thursday to talk about the football games coming up. We got Georgia versus Texas, Bama versus Oklahoma State, Notre Dame plays Pittsburgh. We can see if the freshman quarterback can knock off the Fighting Irish. As always, follow the YouTube, follow the Instagram, follow the podcast. Everything is in the description. Appreciate y'all for coming out. We are out.
Later, James.